This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so here I'm going to start Python and hello world. Now it should print hello Python. The program again I would like to show you. It should be here. So this was the expectation. So through this program, what we learn how to comment single line, how to comment multiple line, and how to print some string which you want. Print is a function, okay? As I said, right, you can write your own function, but print is one function which is built-in function to make our life easier. Okay, so that's the one program. Let's go for check py. So this is not something which is great. Program one. Now look at this program carefully. So here x is 10. So tell me one thing, what is this variable type automatically? What is this variable type?
Integer.
Number.
Integer. Yeah, number. And this is also all our integers number. And how do you print it? So here it is. These all are floats, dot floats. How do you print it? This is the way. Nothing great about it. So let me copy entire program. What is the program name? One, right? So I'm feeling little lazy, so I'll keep it only one.py. One.py. Okay. And Python. Save it. Run. Let's close this here. Run. One.py. It print nothing actually. Not sure why. Anyone have idea?
It is in comments.
True. So remember that this is a commented one, multi-line commented. Okay. So please understand that. Done. So that's one program number one. I will ask you to do program 2, which is here. Now this is for the operators. Last one was variables, integer and float. This is for operators. Look at this. Print. What is this? Operator. What is this? Operator. What is this? Operator. What is this? Operator. I don't think so I have to explain it to you, but you understand. Also, the comments are given, so you can check it out. So when the operators are there, which value it will return, you must check that. One slides which I have shown you just to make our life easier, that one, this one. So you see the last results. Sometime it will be variables will be string, sometime integer, sometime true, false, or something like that. So comparison operator always return true, false, because you are comparing, right? So understand this. So more or less, I think, are you comfortable with this? See here, print x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0. Now this is interesting. Anyone have an answer for this? Anyone? Anyone have worked with the truth table? See, first thing, decide this one. X is greater than 0 or not. So x is 6. So of course greater than 0, right? And so here it will return true. And y is less than 0, which is false. So here true and false. What will return?
False. False.
So how do we know that? So truth table. This we have studied in our engineering also. Look at for this. Look here. See. This is the truth table. Wonderful table. you know, right? Little bit more simple one, and I want more. I think this is more simple. 0, 1. This is also. This is also. I want simple. These are circuit one. I mean, same results, but positive. So you have to hard code this. This is better. This is easy. All are same message. It was depicting, but it's easy to read it. Okay. So false, false, and false, or false, not a true. So in my situation, in my code, it was having here and I mean true and false. So if I compare true and false, true and false, and false. So it should returning true. So here, let me check again. X is greater than 0. Yes, that's correct. So it's a true and y is less than 0. False, true and false. So true and false, it should return false, and A and B. So A and B, it will return false. So here it's wrong, maybe I need to check this. Okay, so here this is the code, and here you are printing 2.py. 2.py. So and just go to the command line, clear the screen. 2. And now the last one I want to check. See, this is a false, correct? So here whatever is written is true, it will return is it's wrong actually. So mind it, not every time. Some copy paste mistake, So that's all. Now let's get into the 3.py. Now here we have some of the functions used with the string, okay, list. So this is the list, and if you want to print only this one, here it is. This is also list, but here you are using print m. It's a range actually. Okay, so m is your list. Here is your, if you want to change the element of the list, so try to change this and see that print n means list, negative violate, that means, and here you are changing the element of the list. Here you are adding using append. Okay, so and you can see that here red, green, yellow, blue last. So copy this whole code. Each and every output you just study. Why? Because that's a way to learn. So I'm not discussing each and every output, but just make you comfortable. I'll share with you this code. All are copy paste code. So done. Let me close remaining things. Yeah. So now clear the screen. 3. So here one by one we'll check this out. So first thing we'll see that red and blue got printed. Here it is. Now here, if you see, this is important. M is equal to A, B, C, D, E, F. And you are printing 2 to F, 2 to 5, which is here. Here, these all are range. Here you're changing the element of list and you're printing N. So here you are saying that here N is equal to orange. Earlier it was a red. So see here. And here, this is last one, orange, green, violet. And here you are appending it, one which is blue. So this is the blue. So this is the way you can work with list. You can display the list. You can slice the element from the list. You can change the element of the list. You can add the element to the list. So many things you can do that. Basics one, and this is some 3. Let's make it 4. So 4, this is with a dictionary. So here you have a dictionary, and first how to print the dictionary and how to add a key and value to the dictionary using this place. See, so name, age, job is there, is the dictionary name, city you are adding new, and finally you're printing this one. And we'll see this. So let's try this 4th one, and 4.py, 4.py. There's a bad typo. Here, and let me run this, clear the screen. 4, and you see that here last one new work got added as part of this. Now let me show you one more program which you should try, program 5. Here we have used string, so we did some work on the string actually. So look at this, this is the string, single quote and double quote both are fine. Okay, take a note, press a note, one questions to all of you. So what is the use of single quote and what is the use of double quote in Python? You're going to tell me. I mean, you're going to write that one notes on the bestdevops.com, and you can do that. So here is the function, len is a built-in function which has been used s, which will display that length of the string, each character. Here you are replacing word with universe. Okay, so there's a hello world, and you are replace is a one function which will, so there are few function each for the string, few function for integer, few function for the list, few function for dictionary, like that built-in function. You can develop your own functions also. That's will teach you in some time. And here your print y. So here what will happen? Hello world, word will be replaced with universe. It will print hello universe. So this is the way, if you have a list, if you have a string, this is the way you can change it. You can split that also and join the also string. So let's say this is a string, and here if you want to find out the delimiter, what is a delimiter? First of all, what is a delimiter? Anyone?
Separator symbol.
Delimiter. See, delimiter is a concept actually. So delimiter is a concept. So you look at the content and find out the one pattern. Using that, you can split that whole content. So here, if I look at the pattern, it can be space also. Okay, it can be something new line also. It can be. Okay, so that is a pattern. So here, if I look at the small pattern, a small string, I have a pattern which is called comma. So that is your delimiter. So split is a function which is made for the string only, but requires the delimiter, so it can split it. Now it has split it up and that's stored in the n, and you are printing it here. Okay, so like that. So let's run this code. Five dot py. Done. Run. And the last one you have to check, last two, red and separation and stuff like that. So this is the, see, this was the string. Remember how we converted string into the, what is this? What is the output? What is the output? N is what? Hello?
The list.
Yeah, list. So from the string you convert it to the list. So this is the fifth one. Now let's look at this one more program. Sixth one. Here you are discussing about the conditioning. So first let's discuss about the conditioning and then we'll show you the code. So how do you set the conditioning in the program? That means you want to run the program but conditionally. How do you do that? So in Python you can do using if else elif statement. Okay, so look at this. If statement, you want to use it, so you can use it to execute a block of code if specified condition is true. If the statement is true, then it will run that code block of code. Else statement, use it to execute a block of code if the same condition is false. Okay, and in Python we are using elif also. Else if we call it elif. Use it to specify new condition to test if that the first condition is false. So this is something which you can use it in Python. So look at this here. Here if and condition and statement you have. So condition, if any, here you can write any expression. So far in the variables I put so much of expression, right? It should return the true and false. So tell me which operators will help me to return the true and false. Anyone would like to tell me?
Boolean.
Comparison operator, right? So you have to use the comparison operator here, which will return the false and or true. And statement, you can run any statement here inside, any code. Okay. So if the true, it will run. If not true, not run. Simple. Look at this here, this simple code. Recall the comparison operator is equal to, not equal to, greater than, blah blah blah. So here, look at this line number 1. This is one way to in Python to declare multi-line variable. So x is equal to 7, y is equal to 5. So here is one condition, simple. If x is greater than y, print x is greater. Simple. Now I will ask you a question. Can you locate the any special character which you need to remember always when you writing the if statement? In this special character I'm saying. In this we need to remember. Most of the people are doing the mistake over there, including me. Hello? Colon, yes. Remember all the time. In Python, we keep the colon. One more thing I will ask you to remember that. Let's say if the line number 2 and line number 3, I'll give one space, one line. I'll give not space, one line. So will that be a if statement?
No. Intentional.
It'll be considered as a new line of the code. So remember that one, 2 things. Okay. Now else statement. So else means if first is condition is false, then it will move to the else. If it is true, then it will not move to else. Simple. Okay. So if it is true, then execute those statement. Else, leave it. But if condition is false, then move to the else. Okay. So something like this. Here we have ls. elif means if the first condition is true, run those statement, follow my cursor here. If it's not elif condition, else finally do this. So two if you want to add it, if this one, then do this. If this one, then do this. This is the new two conditions. If this, then do this. It's not like else. Else is this one. Okay. So here understand that the first condition, this is executed if the first condition is true. New condition to test if the previous condition is not true. Okay. And this is executed if none of the conditions are true. So understand a little bit difference over there. This is one more way many programmers are doing. There's a variable, it can be anything, and the right statement, if condition, else statement. Many places you will see this is called ternary operator. Okay. So here you see if number is equal to 5, if number is equal to 5, then run this, else this. Here truth and false value. Here if number means if it's set true, number is set true, right? Then define and truth. If text is defined, then do this. This is a way also you can do that. Here with the boolean actually, if Python course, which is return true, Python course is written not Python underscore is equal to true, so this will execute. Aliens found none. This is interesting. Here you have a true, this is a boolean, okay? This is Python course is equal to true, it's a true. But here alias found is equal to none. So true, false, and none. So none is a boolean actually, kind of boolean. So here you say none means it's not set. So not set means it will not execute. Not if here you see that here number is equal to 5. If number is not equal to 5, this is the not if, then this will not execute. Here Python course true means boolean value. So of course it's true, but here you are doing opposite. If not Python course, then if it is false, so this will not execute. So this is the truthy table, which you should get comfortable with it. And this is important for this. Multiple if conditions, see here. So here there is a one conditions here, and here in the condition itself you are adding truthy table. Here number is equal to 3, yes, it's true, and Python course is set true, yes, true. True and true, this will execute. Here or, so first condition true, or Python course is true also, true and true, this will also execute. This is also where you can use this multiple if condition with the truthy table. Ternary, this is something which you can also do that for the quick declaration. So write a bigger, okay, if a is greater than, else smaller. Okay, so something like that you can do that. Okay, so now iterators. Before iterators, let's use that. Let's use the code here. So 6, yeah. So what we are having, x is equal to 7, y is equal to 4, and z is equal to 2. So if x is greater than y, then print this. If x is greater than z, then print this. Okay. So look at this very carefully. Okay. There's no number. There's no new line between this f. You have to look at it very carefully. Here m is equal to 7, n is equal to 5, and here if and else together you have. So let's try this code. 6, dot py, clear the screen. Okay, 6.py, my mistake. See, so match this. X is greater than y, of course, and x is greater than y and z, of course. So without line, and m is greater than this one. So this is the way also you can do that. So here m is less than n. M is, so this is written false. That's the reason m is greater, which is here. So now let me show you 6, 7. This more condition in Python, you can use it. While conditions. So for I discussed, this is a iterator actually, not condition. Why? So let's discuss first iterator. So there are two ways to display the iterators or looping in Python. One is while, another one is for. Okay, so two ways. Let's discuss the while first. So here, while the condition, so condition any expression that evaluates to true or false. So most of the time you will use a comparison operator, and the code of the statement, it can be any code actually. This will be running in the loop. While the condition is true, this will run in the loop. Okay, and here else clause you are using. So if you're adding the else clause, while else, so it is executed if the condition becomes false. That means, let's say if you are running some conditions while condition is true, then it will run that statement and leave the else statement here. Now if you look at the while condition, it will become a false, then it will not run that loop, then it will run the else statement. So that's also you can do that. So see here else is not there, so x is equal to 0 while x is greater than 10, lesser than 10. So is it lesser than 10? Yes, of course. So here what you are doing, look at it. Print count each, it's a formatting is used, count each $0, which is like a 0 means it's a index number 0. Okay, so it will count and format x, it will print, keep printing the x till that x is equal to 0, and after that printing, it will also append also x plus equal to y, that is appending 1. So tell me, who's going to tell me what it will print? Tell me the output. Who's going to tell me?
Print a number from 0 to 9.
0 to 9. Yes, wonderful. So like that. So you can use a for also for the loop. So for here you have to have a variables and iteratable and statement, else statement. So else is a optional, you can use it, but it's a good practice to use it. Look at this code here. For name is a variable which you are declaring in what? So student underscore name is a list, remember. So iteratable, here you can provide any list or some range. So here it should be student underscore name is a list. This colon you always remember, many people forget actually. Now all the time in the if, for, while we use the colon, but, and again same format and doing the same thing. Here it will print as long as you have a statement, and after that it will exit. Other codes also, this is the traditional way to write it. This is the new way to write it. You can also use it. This is something like that you have studied in Java also. Infinite loop. So look at this here. This is the number is equal to 10 while true. This means infinite loop. Okay, so if infinite loop, you are into that infinite loop. So if you want to break it, so here you have a condition. If number is equal to 42, break that infinite loop and print hello world. So something like that you can do that also. Here we can work with the dictionary also. This is the dictionary student, it's dictionary key, value. Here feedback none. This is the feedback none means this value is set for nothing. This value is nothing. Okay. So here you have a list of dictionary. So here you see that it's interesting. This is the list, but each element is a dictionary. Name, mark, student. So each element is a dictionary. Each element of this list is a dictionary. So how do you iterate it? So look at this here. So dictionary data. So here student name is equal to mark. Here setting up this. Here student last name. You are setting up the key error. This is a again something which is not set. It's like none. And here if you want to get it, last name unknown. Here keys, by keys you want to get it, by values you want to get it, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the stuff you can do that. So let me run some programs here for this. So here you have while. Here will you while again. If you want to break this loop, you can use a break. If you want to continue, even though if your unlimited loop is there and you want to continue, then use continue with some conditions. So let's use this code. Seven.py and here. So if you look at the code, first one, x is equal to 6. Look at this. So here first thing, while x, so x is set, x is true, x is set, so x is true. So it print the x. After that, always it decrement, x is equal to 1. So next loop when you run, and breaking is happening only if x is equal to 3. Look at this. So here 654 which you are running. So and the moment it reaches to equal to 3 is breaking. So first loop is printing 654, and the next loop which is you have here, you are not breaking it. Here you are continuing it. So here same code, x is equal to 6, while true, x is minus by 1. So if x, what is this? I am not able to recall. What is this? Mod, right? Okay, division. So x, yeah. So if x by 2 not equal to 0, then continue and print x. So it has declare basically even number 420. That's not divisional, is equal to 0. Then go for this. So this is the 6th, 7th. Let's go for the 8th. Here again, this is the for loop. I'm not running, I'm just showing you. So here this is the list, element 4 elements. For x is the variable which you declare on the fly in colors. So it will have first time x is equal to this, x equal to this, then 4 times it will run. So if x is equal to blue, which is here, then break it. Till then print it. So it will print red and green, but the moment blue is coming, here you are breaking it, right? So printing is done. So this is also you can use it in the 8. Now one more program I want to show you. This is a function, so I need to discuss this one. Okay, so now we will get into the functions. Okay, what is the functions? So we have used so many default inbuilt functions, but now we should get into the some functions. So for that, Let's understand this. So why we use the function, you understand that, right? We can't run, you don't want to run the entire code of the software. So what we did, we discuss, we convert into the small functions and call the functions to, so it'll be easy and faster, less use of memory. And okay, so this is the stuff which we have it. So just give me 2 seconds, I'll just have some water. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Raj.
Yes.
Yes.
So in Python, we have a built-in function which we have used. We have a lambda function and recursion function also, which we have it, but I'm not discussing right now as part of this session. But user-defined function is very important. Okay. So how do you define the function? If you want to write your functions, remember function is something like you design a functions yourself, where you should give some input and do processing a lot of things and then give return value output. That's all. What you process, it's up to you. Nowadays this function also we call it something like microservices sort of concept, if you are aware. So this is something, how do you define the function in Python? So if you want to define the function, def, okay, and then name of the function, and here arguments will be the input to the function which will be used as a process, and based on the arguments you do whatever you want in the program. That's called a statement. End of it, return some value, process it and return a value. So function always should return some value. So it's not important though. You can do something in the statement and you cannot return a value, that's also possible, but it's a good practice. I mean, depends on the requirement of the code. It's a good practice to return the value, something like it has been done. Even the echo is a return value. You can print some message like this has been completed or something. Okay, so look at this is one of the good image. You can see here def to define a function, add the name of the function x and y which will be passing through the parameter, user parameter, and here you are doing nothing but printing something, and return you are doing x plus y. That's all. So you're printing and then returning. Okay, so function name, function argument inside parenthesis basis, then inside the program what you do, that's I'm not guiding you. You define the logic what you want with that x and y and do whatever you want and then return something, and you have to close the function. So here understand some of the points which is like a colon, okay, and function code and function return statement and all stuff like that. This is the way to define a function. Usually the functions can be a line, 50 lines, 60 lines, 70 lines. It depends on your requirement what you want to do with that function. So here, look at this here. Print is a built-in function which we used. str is a built-in function. eint is a built-in function. Here input is also built-in function. So these are the built-in functions which we have. We did not discuss, but we are using every time in the code. Okay. So print str will convert to the string, integer will convert to integer, username where it will ask you to prompt you basically for the some text with some text, and whatever you enter it will be set as the username. So like that. This is the built-in function. Nested function also is available. So you have a function inside a function which is supported in Python. So here you see diff get student and get student titles, and whatever the for loop or whatever it is, your end of this you're returning. So that is also possible and stuff like that. So let's use some of the functions here. This is a simple function. Sum is a function. A is input arguments. You are doing something here. And how do you call this function from outside of the program? So you can call here sum, parameter 3 and 4, and this is called, so it will return a plus b. So it will return a plus b, which is set in the x, and finally you're printing to x. If you don't use this statement, it will not print, it will not do anything, because the return is happening, but printing is not happening. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
All of you? Okay. So 9, 10. Okay. So now after the function, we have to discuss one thing which is called class. What is class? So if you recollect the discussion, do you remember this discussion? All of you?
Yeah.
So you have multiple files. You want to manage this large software. How do you manage? You can't keep it in one file, right? You have to put it in a multiple file. So how do you manage those? So that's where the class is coming into the picture. So let's discuss some of this object-oriented concept. Okay, class is object-oriented concept actually. What is a class, by the way? Anyone have idea? Oops concept. Anyone?
It's the instance of an object.
Yeah. So think of what is a class. Let's say, I'll put it in this way. Simple way, because it's a pretty huge discussion actually. I'll put it in this way. Oops. Correct? What does stand for oops? Anyone?
Object-oriented programming.
Object-oriented programming. Correct? Concept. Oops, right? Specification. Now, okay. So let me see that how many people are from India. So I think most of you are from India except few people. I mean, from India. So all of you know God, right? And let's say those who are from India, we have one deities which is called Brahma. And Brahma. All of you, I mean, from at least from India, you know that Brahma, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's God.
So we call it creator. Think in simple way, okay? We call it creator. And as per our belief, creator has, and I don't have a fixed number because I'm just giving you based on some numbers which are here, 33 crore, right? Different types of species he has created. Species for Earth, correct? Think simple. Let's say you are the Brahma now, because you know the Brahma is Brahma. This is a designation actually. Is you can call it also God if you want it. So he is the person who's basically architect, enterprise architect. Enterprise architect means the architect for the universe. Do you know that each universe we have a one Brahma, and each universe we have a one Vishnu, who's a caretaker. So let's talk about the Brahma only. So let's say you are the Brahma, but not for this universe. Brahma is a creator for the universe, right? but you are the Brahma for this software, because you are the god of the software. You are creating it, right? You are developing the software. You are the Brahma for it. So this Brahma, what they did, they wanted to have a different kind of species, which we believe, okay, which we believe different kind of species. So he said, like, I'm not going to do so much of work. So much of work is there. I can't develop trillions and trillions of I cannot produce trillions of species. So what he did, he created a class of what? So class of 33 crores of class he created. He is not producing us. We are not coming because of him. We are coming because of he's created one class which is called human. Okay, are you understanding my points? So now think in software way. You are also God, you are also creator. And it's not I'm talking the supreme God, but Brahma, you know that one of the element which we don't worship actually. We don't worship Brahma, mind it. So so you are the software, you are the Brahma for software. So how many functionality you have? How many types of functionality you have? Maybe 500 types. So you will create 500 class for it. Okay, for a class for it. For example, I'm putting in a simple way. You are developing a software for the university. Okay, university. So in the university, please understand, I'm not writing in a full-blown way. So you're writing a software for the university, and universities, what are the elements we have? What are the class we have? So you'll have a class which is something like a student, you'll have a professor, you have HOD, you have management people, right? Different kind of class we'll have. So you created a class. Now you tell me one thing, very simple question I'm asking. How many students you may have it? How many students you may have it? Unlimited, right? Depends on the capacity of university, correct? No? University, are you getting my points? Correct now?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah.
So as university will grow, you have an unlimited student, unlimited professor. There's no count, depends on the requirement. Depends on the requirement. We have in India, we have a university called IGNOU. IGNOU is the world's largest university and still growing. World's largest university. Crores of students they are studying with IGNOU, right? One of the reputed institutes. Anyone can enroll anytime. Simple. So something similar actually. Let's say coming with the Brahma, you want to create one human. You want to create unlimited human. Unlimited human. What is the limitation? Limitation is Earth. If you can cope up with the too many humans, you produce that human class that produce that class. So like that, I just said 33 crore species we have on this planet, and they're producing himself. I mean, it depends on the some incident which you know that how this people are coming and going and coming, going and coming, going, and then how animals, species, different kind of trees, different kind of things. So same thing is happening. So they created a class. They did Brahma did not created us. They created a class, and automatically we are coming up, coming in, coming. We are coming and we are going. So this is the human. We born and die something. So this what we call from Brahma. For Brahma, we are object actually. They are not emotionally attached to us. We are object. From Brahma, human is one human is object. Human is a class here, but Rajesh, that's me, is one object. One human is a class. Rajesh is one object. So same way, student is a class. Student is a class. Simple. Understand? I'm writing in short form. But let's say Peter is a student of the university. Is a student. So what is a class? Class is a little bit broader specification. Nothing else. Class is the broader specifications, and you have to design a class. You have to become a Brahma for your software. whichever software you design, you have to define a class for it. You have to. That's how you manage. Remember that. You have to act like you're a god for the software. So I have been telling you, you have to learn the management skills. Here also I told you, management skills you have to learn here. So this multiple files and all, which will come in form of class. So you have to design a class. So let's understand a little bit of things here. So you see that more or less you understand this is a human. This is a multiple humans is object. Remember object. Car is a class. Multiple car, different kind of car is an object. Girls is a class. Multiple types of girls is an object. Boy is a class. Multiple kind of boys is an object. This is the one I was discussing because we studied in our colleges also. I hope you guys remember. I remember that. So this is student is a class, and multiple types of multiple student is an object. So are you comfortable with this? Dog is a class, different types of dog is object. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. So now you are an object. I am object. We all are object. So now first thing has come. Now Brahma thought for the universe, just like you will also thought for the software. So object, property. What properties? What I'm talking about? Let's say you can call it attributes also. So human, what is the attributes? So some of the common attributes what we have a 2 hands, and we have a 2 legs also, and we have 1 eye. Just I'm putting in a simple way. Okay. So these are the fixed one. So these attributes which is defined in the class itself. That means, have you seen that any human which is with the 3 hand? Though, yeah, there's few exception has come because of some, that some scientific problems, but that's okay. But every objects, we have a 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 eye. Correct now? Correct now? So this is set in the class itself. So same way, when you create an object, there are some attributes you will get it along with. For example, I'm giving you some variables here. Vars is equal to, this is the value for this variable. Vars, this will be value. This will be value. So here you can see hand is equal to 2. See, maybe Brahma is programming like that only. See here. These are the variables. Are you understanding? So some of the variables will come from the class only. And this variables, whatever is coming from the class, what do we call it? What do we call it? Inheritance. I'll put it in this way. Inheritance. Don't you inherit your property of your father and mother? Don't you? Property. Don't start thinking land and bank deposit. I said property. So same way properties of the object is initialized objects you inherit from your parents. Correct now? So class inherits some of the properties. So this property, whatever the object you create. So guys, I'll put it in this way. How many human can born? Do you have that number? Do you have that number? There's no limit for it. How many animals can born? How many virus can born? There's no limit for it. The limit is only planet Earth. It will hindered actually. So same way, from the class, how many objects you can get it? There's no limit for that. Okay, there's no limit for that. So whatever the properties of the class it's come. But something what we do. See, still we have a 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 eye. 2 eyes. Sorry. But we become a doctor, and we become a engineer. This is our property, right? We also learn something, right? Different people behave different way, each and every. So that is, we call it, constructor. That means we develop ourselves also. Okay. Okay, and something polymorphism also you can add it here. Poly. Okay, so we can develop our own set. So here, what we are trying to say, I'll put it in a simple way, not complicate this stuff. Oops. See here, these are the properties of object-oriented programming. That means you have to become a Brahma for the software. So you need to decide first thing. Okay, you need to decide first thing. What are the class you will be having in your project? Sorry. What are the class? And from the class you will get an object. How many objects you can create? Unlimited. When the object will be created? When you run the software. When you run the class, it will create object. And each object will have some property from the class inheriting the class property, and some of the encapsulations will be there. Encapsulation means not displaying something. Well, keep it something secret. For example, I'll ask you some question. Can you please tell me the bank account's OTP number? You will not tell me, right? That's secret. You will not publish. But if I tell you what is your name, then immediately you will tell me, correct? So something like encapsulation. Okay. And then we have abstraction. Abstraction means something you cannot do that. Can you fly? No, something like that. And you have a polymorphism also. So each object which have an inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, and abstraction property, and ultimately you are a Brahma. This is you, and you are Brahma. So like that, what I'm trying to say is you have to create a class. First, study your project and create a multiple class. Okay. Now the question is, how do we create a class? So here, this is what I'm answering. This is a way you can create a class. Class car. So anyone wants to create an object. How do you create an object? See here. This is a class car. C is a car. D is a car. E is a car. And these are the objects you got. So think you yourself as a god for the software, and you can't do everything. So you have created a class, and class, those whoever call the class, they get a properties of whatever you define in the class, and these class objects can do many other stuff also. Are you understanding in simple way? All of you? Hello?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Hello, I would say.
So the question, yeah. So the question is, how do we create a class? So we create a class in Python like this. And inside the class, whatever the property you want to define, this is one property. This is one function, something like a hand. This, let's say, human. So human will have some property, 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, like that. But each hand, what it will do, this is function. So eye will look, hand will do some work, leg can be used for the walking, this, that, and all. These are the functions of each component. So you create a functions. So here you have only one function, which is the main function. So this is one class. This code is one class. What function it will do, you decide. Okay. Now how can you create object from the class? So we'll get the same thing what the class has. So this is the object. C is equal to car, sedan black. C is equal to car, Maruti black. So this is the class object. Okay. So this is how the class you define, and then this is run. So let's do that. So how many class you have? Two objects, one class. These are the comments. So let's run this. This is the program number 8.py. So like that, you create a multiple class. So each program, each file you write, multiple file you write, right? Write in a form of class. Okay. write in the form of class car. So here 8 dot Python. So here I'm calling this. These are the class. Here you're calling it. This is the calling access. See here. This is the 4. So now the question is, how do you impact the real things? So do you remember that? I'll put it in this way. See,
Hello.
Facebook.com. Do you log in, right? How many people log in? Millions of people. So every time when you log in, they call the login.py, something like that. This one object get created. So login class, registration class. When you post, how many people post on Instagram? Millions, I think billions of posts. It's being published every minute. Think simple. Millions of posts is being posted every minute. So every time there's one class called post, and which take the input as a like whatever you image or text or whatever, and then store it somewhere. That class is being stored. It create an object. That object take the input from you, store it in the database, and then display on your things. So like that, you have to generate a class. You have to design that program, large program.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know the class name is not required because we give a number of the class name but is passed.
Yes, class name. Yeah, you see when you again, as I said, no, if you put everything in one file, that's up to you. But if you design in a class, then you see here you have a one class, and there is another class you create, another file, something like that. And this, see, you are defining this class and human. This is another class. So this is okay. This is the two class you define. Now you can call this part of. So in this class, you'll have a multiple method. Let me see that here. Look at this. Create a class, and class will have a multiple method. Each method create, read, update, and delete. So this is the 4 functions you may have it. This is a microservices concept. Okay. So
Okay.
when you define a class, let's say the class is think simple. Okay. When you declare a class which is cart, so you can create a cart. Create a cart. You can read the quantity of the cart. Quality is about the card. You can delete the card from the database also. That entry. Delete means dead in real time. Okay. And what is that? CR update. Edit also. Let's say I want not a 2 hands but something else. So these are the functions you create, and each function, each method, you'll have certain attributes. Got it? So now the question was, can we define multiple class in one file? Yes, you can do that. You can define multiple class in one file. You can use it, but you have to separate the file. Why? So when you keep this file, I'll put it this way. This is in file 1, and this is in file 2. Think simple, okay? Created a multiple class. It's all management capability, not techniques for the programming. 2, 1. So this is the file 1, this is the file 2. Now I want to use car in the this one. So what I will do? I will import file 1, and then I will use d is equal to this one object of what? File dot car. Are you understanding? File means, sorry, file 1 dot car. Sorry. Oh, is there? File 1 is imported. So here file 1 dot car. Are you understanding like this?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's up to you how you design. Management skill is up to you. So this is the one class you can define, and so on. So this is the code for the class. Let me show you a few more code. 11. This is the one more class, but here you see one function, main function, method 1, method 2, function 1, function 2, and this is the end of the class. Okay. and after that you are creating one object, calling that object, and deleting that. Here you see deleting deleting the attributes like that. So del means here. Where is the del? So this is the way you can delete the attributes here. Del is a fixed word. So 11, 12. This is something which I was discussing right. So you put that classes in a different file, and how do you import it? So this is the importance. See that JSON is the class. I have not written. I don't want to write. So who's written? So it's written by someone and put it in the Python packages. OS is the class. Who's written? Someone has written and then create a package and put it in the Python package. So we are importing it, JSON and OS. So JSON and OS will give me some functionality. What functionality? So it will give me this function, whatever you are using, right? This has come from some of the open, read, all this thing. It has come from this. See here, OS remove function has come from this file. Here OS dot this function has come from this file. This file has come from this file. So like that you can import that file and use this. Okay, so now I'll teach you some of the file parameters.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I want to know if you have a link between the file name and the class name, but they say that the class name must have the same name of the file name.
That's in Java.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you don't have to follow that. Okay, so now I was doing something else. So file operators, a file work which I want to show you, which is the last one. So let's go for it. How to work with a file. This is important, guys. This is the important topic. How to work with the files, because in the Python you use the file operator a lot. So how do you import it? So please understand that Python file handling. So which are the files? So in Windows you have any files which is like image, text, executable audio. These are the files. In Linux only there is a file called, there is a text file or binary. Everything is considered as a text or binary, nothing else. Okay, so how do you do that? So these are the 4 file handling methods or functions, you can call it, which we have: read, write, close, and open. Okay, many more are there. I'm not talking about all, but these are the often used. So if you want to open a file and then process the data and close the file, these are the things which you should do. Whenever you do some editing and stuff like that, you should open, process the data, and close the file. This is the flow. So opening a file, reading from the files, writing to the files, appending to the files, and closing the files. These are the 5 things which we do as part of the file handling. Now question is, how do we open it? So look at it. This is a very important slide for all of you. How do you open it? Open is one function which is developed in OS package, which is built in, by the way. You don't have to call it, it's a built-in. OS package is there. In that, open function is there. So open function, you require some attributes. What attributes? So you have a file name which you want to open. You can give the full path also. And what you want to do, that's mode. You want to open a file, but in what mode? So you want to read the file, or you want to append the file, you want to write the file, or you want to create a file. So you have to specify the mode. It's important. So R for read, A for append, W for write, and X for create. So any name that you want, and then it can be path also. Different mode of opening a file. If you want to open a file with a text or text T, binary B. Remember that. So if you want to open an image, you have to B. You have to write a B. Text-based file and all, you can use the T, which is a default mode. Don't have to specify. T is the default. But if you want to open up an image, then you have to specify B for sure. Okay, so look at this here. These are the complete list of it. I don't want you to get into that right now. You'll get lost. Only few things: read, write, append, and close. Okay, so these are the method which we have for the write. Modes we have for, and if you want to work with some particular lines of the code, then you have to do the read lines and stuff like that. Okay, so this is something. Again, create file, open file, work, and close file. So some of the things. So I'll not discuss here. Open file mode and stuff like that. This is the way you open a file. So F is the object. Open is a function. Name of the file is data.txt, and what you are doing, reading that file. R, W, X, A, B, T, all these things we discussed. This is the full function. Look at this. File is the object. Opening a file, name.txt, writing, and in that what you are doing, one loop is there. Range is 4, means 4 times. Repeat 4 times. Name is equal to input enter name. That means name you are asking from the user and setting up in the name variable. And what you are doing, because you are open up the file for the writing, you are doing the file.write name. That's a variable which you got it from the second line, and you are inserting the new line. So you are always writing at the end of the line, and then finally you are closing it. Understand this code very well. Do let me know if you are not able to understand this. Okay. So these are the mode we have discussed multiple times. So remember all the time. And this is the code. When you want to open a file, what to do? Look at this. When you want to append a file, first one is writing a file. Second code is appending a file. Third code is reading a file. Fourth also reading a file. Okay. This is the code which you can see that full code. So def is a function. Display rec, name of the function. You're opening the file data.txt. RB means, I forgot that. RB means, R means
To read.
a B means
The binary file. T.
binary file. Yeah. And importing pickle. Pickle is one class name, which is other code you are trying to import in this code. So that's the reason you are creating one object. D is equal to pickle.load. So load. What is the load here? Can you tell me? Anyone would like to tell me what is the load?
Loading the
extract
file.
all the data
What is
from
that?
the
No. Load is, what is a load?
To download file.
No. Load is there's a class pickle, which is another file actually. Apart from this code, there's one more file which is called pickle, and that we are importing in the line number 3. In that file, pickle file, there is one function called load, which is not visible here. Is there somewhere? And that load required one file actually in a binary format. So you are calling the F. Load function required some binary file. So for that, you are calling F. And after that, you are asking enter name of the search, name to be searched. Okay. And then here you are saying D means the file which you loaded. Okay. You run that many times as long as the end of the line, and check that you have that search, whatever the input you made it, that string is there in that file or not, and print it, and then close it. So basically it will search the file. Understand? With some string which you are inserting. Getting this code? All of you?
Yes, please continue.
Yeah. So now we have some functionality. This is easy one, okay? So here what you are doing, let me explain you this whole code. This is a comments, and here you have a 4 operations for the file with the files: reading, writing, appending, and deleting. You are importing the JSON and OS. Why? Because we need some functions of OS file and JSON file. Here we are CWD, we are getting the current working directory. And how can we read this? Instead of writing the good command, you are calling this function which is there in the OS package. Here files, you are listing the files also from the current directory. And there's one function which is there already. You have to remember that. But again, when you understand the logic first, and then you will get this function automatically. So listing the directory, get all the list of files that in a directory. Okay. And after that, printing it, this all files, CWD and files, current directory and files. And after that, after listing it, after that, read one file, see each file. You find out first, this is that if OS path each file is a function. Whether it will tell whether it's a file or not. And if the file, this is true, then it will say this file exists. Else this file is not exist. This is to check the path of the file, okay? Now you want to create a file. This is, you can do that. Okay. X for execute. Now see, overwriting a file with the content. So first open a file. Here you check the file whether it exists or not. If it exists, then you are opening the file in the writable mode and writing some data, overwriting existing data. So see, if you're writing, then it will rewrite the whole content, overwriting the file and with the content. But if you want to append, you have to use A. Remember, overwrite the file, W, and flush this. If you don't flush, you will not be able to see that. And append a file. How do you append in the end of this line? This is the way. A, write and append this text in the append mode. Here you go into the write mode and flush and close. If you want to read the file, read, display, and done. And you want to remove the file, this one. So these are the functions which you have, which you learn: open, write, and remove. Read a file using this one, read function. Did you understand that, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So in order to run this file, first of all, in the current directory, you should be having one folder live, and this should be file called create file.txt or something. Okay, so now let's cap up what to do. So first thing, what you're going to do, if you really want to learn Python in the next 2 to 3 days, you have to finish all these topics, and after that I'll share with you one project which will have to do that. The project will be for the DevOps orientation, not like writing a software development or something like that. So Python, first learn the variable types, then learn all the operators, practice it for 1 hour or something. Don't need to hard code your mind, just understand the concept. Third thing, you have to learn conditioning. Then fourth, looping. Fifth, function. Okay, all these things you are done. You don't have to go into the classes. If you want to go for that. And then module. This is the last topic, class and module. And I'll give you the project based on this, and you have to do that. Now, this is the, am I missing any topics? No. Yeah. Any questions anyone have? File handling also. OOPS concept is required when you want to get into the software development, but not required if you want to do scripting for this. Any questions anyone have?
No, my